Well, what would a confirmation hearing be without Elizabeth Warren having a complete and total meltdown in front of everybody and completely embarrassing herself? That's what exactly happened once again today. She did it a couple weeks ago with Pete Hegseth, and now she's doing it again today. She must just love the attention, but I don't know if she thinks it's positive attention because she just looks worse and worse every single time she does it. We're going to get right into that. This is Clayton Kearns from TrendingPolitics.com. Please like this video and make sure to subscribe. We're coming out with brand new content every single day, keeping you up to date with this historic 4 years that we're about to undergo. It really is the golden age, so let's get right into it. So as I said, RFK Jr. is on Capitol Hill today, and he, yes, is being grilled by many Democrats, but their blows are not landing very effectively. So let's take a look at Elizabeth Warren, who is terrified, scared to death that this man is going to go after the big pharma companies for pushing the COVID vaccine too early. Now, we all know the story with that. We all know what happened. RFK Jr. was against the fast rollout. And isn't it ironic that that these companies just have, nobody can go after them despite how fast this was all rushed out? Let's take a look at Elizabeth Warren freaking out.
You financially down the line.
I'll comply with all the ethical guidelines.
That's not the question. You have said
you're asking me, Senator, you're asking me not to sue vaccine pharmaceutical companies. Yeah, you are. That's exactly what you're doing.
Look, no one should be fooled here. As Secretary of HHS, Robert Kennedy will have the power to undercut vaccines and vaccine manufacturing across our country. And for all of his talk about follow the science and his promise that he won't interfere with those of us who want to vaccinate his kids, the bottom line is the same. Kennedy can kill off access to vaccines and make millions of dollars while he does it. Kids might die, but Robert Kennedy can keep cashing in.
Senator, I support vaccines. I support the childhood schedule.
So why was Elizabeth Warren so specifically concerned that these big pharma companies were going to be sued by RFK? That should tell you everything you need to know, because historically speaking, big pharma is always supporting the Democrat Party, and there is something shady going on here, and she's just afraid that actual change is going to be brought forth by RFK Jr. So let's get into this next clip. Bernie Sanders had this weird gotcha question. He was asking if healthcare is a human right, and RFK, in my opinion, answered this absolutely perfectly. Check it out.
Senator, I can't give you a yes or no answer to that question.
Healthcare a human right? Is healthcare a human right?
In the way that free speech is a human right,
yeah.
I would say it's different, because with free speech doesn't cost anybody anything, but in healthcare, if you smoke cigarettes for 20 years and you get cancer, you are now taking from the pool. Well, and so are you guaranteed the same right, or is there also a duty?
I'm sorry. I'd love to talk for an hour with you. We got a few minutes left here. All right. Every other country on earth says healthcare, whether you're poor or rich, young or old, is a human right. I'm not hearing you say that. All right. You've talked about the drug companies.
So I love how Bernie Sanders had absolutely nothing to say about RFK's very, very good point. Okay. Again, free speech is one thing. Healthcare is something completely different, because in many ways we all have the choice. We are all making the free will choice of what to do with our health. Now, I know that some people get into accidents. These are all different, situations. But in the situation where someone is not taking care of themselves, where they're smoking, and this leads to severe health problems in the future, is it not a good question to ask? Should it be a guaranteed right for them to have health care? And I feel like RFK Jr. really handled that. And then finally, RFK Jr. standing up for the children of our nation, because childhood obesity is at an all-time high. And we all know why. What they're putting in our food, what they're putting in our drinks, the fact that, these schools are just giving out these unhealthy foods. There needs to be a massive, huge change in this country. And RFK, this was a beautiful little clip that I need to show you.
To restore trust in the public health agencies, we need transparency. I want to say something about what you first said. When I launched my campaign, it was about uniting Americans, Democrats and Republicans. There's no issue that should unite us more than this chronic health epidemic. There's no such thing as Republican children or Democratic children. These are our kids. 66% of them are damaged. I know what a healthy kid looks like because I had so many of them in my family. I didn't know anybody with a food allergy growing up, peanut allergy. Why do 5 of my kids have allergies? Why are we seeing these explosions in diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis, neurological diseases, depression, all of these things that are related to toxics in the environment? Why can't we just agree with each other to put differences about so many issues, intractable issues aside, and say, we're going to end this? I don't think anybody is going to be able to do this like I have because of my peculiar experience, because I've litigated against these agencies. When you litigate against them, you get a PhD in corporate capture and how to unravel it. I've written 6 books about these agencies. I know a lot about them and I know how to fix it. And there's nobody who will fix it the way that I do because I'm not scared of vested interests. I don't care. I'm not here because I want a position or a job. I have a very good life and a happy family. This is something I don't need. I want to do this because we're going to fix it. And the other thing is we are attracting now a caliber of people to HHS like never before.
I feel like that last comment is probably going to go overlooked by so many people, but it's one of the most important things he could have said, which is he doesn't need to do this. He has a good life. He does not need to be in this situation, but he feels so passionate about making America healthy again and about restoring health to our country, to taking care of our children. There are so many people out there who are sick, who are hurting, and clearly the policies of all of the politicians over the last many decades has not led to our health increasing as a nation. It has continued to decrease. Heart disease, obesity, cancer, all of these things are being worsened by our living conditions and by what we are putting into our bodies. And why is unhealthy food so much easier to get in huge quantities as opposed to healthy food? And I feel like RFK Jr. really is knocking it out of the park today. He's still, as I'm speaking, being grilled by these people, but I feel like this is a very good start, and I will keep you updated with any other clips that come out of this. Thank you so much for watching. Please, once again, make sure to like and subscribe because it will severely help the channel and our mission to get the information out there. Because look, despite the fact that President Trump won the popular vote, won the election in a landslide, that does not mean the media is just going to give up. They are absolutely still going full guns a-blazing against him, and we need a way to fight back. So please make sure to subscribe and watch out for our next video, and I'll be talking to you guys all very shortly.